Our thoughts which come up in the mind. Now you may ask, from where do these thoughts arise? Okay. On deep introspection of the mind, we will see that the thoughts which come up, they emerge from an unknown source, which you may call a subconscious reservoir or a stockpile of proclivity or tendencies. Now, if you go through the commentaries on Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, especially the commentary by Bash, which is known as the Bash Bhashya, there you will find an interesting discussion. Look, each and every one of us have a storehouse of tendencies or traces, which from the vocabulary of modern psychology you may call these as the subconscious mind. The yogis call them the samskaras. These are actually the traces left in our mind by our past actions, and these past actions are not necessarily actions of our current birth, but from our many past lives. Understood? Okay. Our mind is a crucial and vital component of what is called the Sukha Sharir or the subtle body. Now, here in the mind as well as some other components of the Sukha Sharir, the samskaras are there. They remain attached to those components. These samskaras bubble up all the time whenever you are in the Jagrata state or in the dream state. And you will be amazed to learn that even in case of some extremely elevated yogis, they may bubble up even in their deep sleep state or what we call the Sushupti state. Now, these samskaras which bubble up become conscious thoughts, and due to which at some later stage we become aware of our different emotions like desire, anger, hatred, jealousy, depression, etc. and etc. Understood? These different emotions that erupt from the samskaras our Sukha Sharir is carrying might not be caused by anything from the outside world. At times, they generate as a reaction to something caused by the external world. But, they all have their roots in our mind or in our inner world. They all emerge from our past samskaras. Every action of us leaves a trace in our mind, and these traces become our samskaras in due course of time. Okay? Now, when these samskaras bubble up and become a conscious thought, the yogis call these conscious thoughts as vritti. Similar to a small wave appearing on the surface of a calm and quiet lake, a vritti from the samskaras appear on the surface of our mind as a conscious thought. Now, if you entertain those vrittis, ultimately helping them to stay on the surface of your mind long enough, it gains a firm footing and becomes one of your prominent samskaras. If you don't act upon the vritti, if you don't entertain the vritti, it will gradually pass away without finding any assistance from you. Understood? Whatever the vritti might be, It might be any desire or anger or hatred or depression or jealousy. These vrittis go on unceasingly day in and day out. If you don't entertain them, they get weakened, and if you entertain them, they get strengthened. But these vrittis go on in a cycle endlessly. Evam vritti sanskara rupa chakra maharnisham vartaman. The yogis say that this is evam vritti sanskara rupa chakra maharnisham vartaman. Day in and day out, this cycle rotates continuously and relentlessly. As we haven't lived our lives carefully, as we are not mindful enough, a lot of negative thoughts have gone into our inner core system, and all our current sufferings and pains are mostly due to this reason. Understood? We take so much care about what we eat, but we are so casual and careless about what we think. Isn't it? We continue to entertain our past vrittis and thus strengthen our sanskaras. And remember, this is the major reason for us taking birth after birth after birth. My Thakur also describes this phenomenon in a similar fashion in the great book Tattva Jigyasa. He says, শুধু মৃত্যুর পরই আত্মা চলে যায় না, জীবন্ত অবস্থায় আত্মা ক্রমশ ক্রমশ বার হতে থাকে. What does it mean? Not only you die at death, you are slowly but steadily embracing death at every moment, and even now at this very moment. My Thakur further says, তুমি জীবনভর যত কথা বলেছ সব কথাই চলে গেছে, গিয়ে জমাট হয়ে আছে. Every word you spoke, every action you performed has taken a shape, and this is what you actually are. This is what sanskaras are all about. Then what to do with the sanskaras? You may ask, what can prevent us from taking birth after birth, life after life? My Thakur suggests the easiest way, that is Nam Jap, that is Ram Narayan Ram. Look, try to understand what Ram Narayan Ram is capable of doing. Ram Narayan Ram contains within itself the earliest spirit of this great creation. This creation manifested with a specific purpose, a definitive end, an ultimate goal. We have considerably drifted away from that goal. What the chanting of Ram Narayan Ram does is to bring us back to the path of that original goal. As we have substantially digressed from that ultimate goal or the purpose in mind with which we have been created, and so our samskaras are already playing a big role in strengthening the cycle of our birth, death, and rebirth and redeath. But the chanting of Ram Narayan Ram, on the other hand, is helping us to bring us back on the right track. Here Ram Narayan Ram is like a currency which is trying to buy out your every past thought and action, and ultimately helping to place the whole of you on the right trajectory. Here my Thakur says in Tattva Jigyasa, জীবনভর যত কথা যত চিন্তা করেছ, জব তার থেকে বেশি হওয়া চাই. মনে করো 500 কোটি কথা এবং চিন্তা তোমার আছে, জব তোমার যেই 500 কোটি 1 বা 500 কোটি 2 হবে তোমার ভিতরে ফুটতে থাকবে. What does it mean? Suppose your actions amount to 500 crores. The moment your job of Ram Narayan Ram becomes 500 crore and 1, you are a Mukta Purush. Another important perspective of Ram Narayan Ram here is, as this birth is the first birth of you becoming aware of my Thakur, so the accounts from your innumerable past births are currently not being taken into consideration. Only the deeds and actions of your current birth will be considered as of now, and this concession remains applicable till the end of your current birth. So that's why Thakur speaks here of only 500 crore and 1 job, which is tantamount to the burden accumulated by you solely in this current birth. Otherwise, you had to perform millions and billions of Ram Narayan Ram job in order to take into account all the sanskaras of your almost countless past births. Understood? So You should realize how important Ram Naran Ram is. Every moment, whenever I meet you people, I go on stressing on how valuable this Ram Naran Ram from my Thakur is. Rarori Raradura Raksarabona Radhuva Rithi Raravasara Ni Suvana Nagna Nathi Pravas Narara Tharasi Saradara.